Hey everybody, it's PartyElite. Welcome back to IXION Let's Play, where we're preparing to go interstellar with our brand new IXION class engine. Before we do that though, there is still a little bit of housekeeping to be done in our own home system, as there are plenty of resources still to be picked up, there are science points to be picked up, there's a whole planet still to be further explored, and yes, there are many lives to be saved. As the comments have sent the directive, no one left behind. At least the vast majority of you seem to feel that way, but that does mean we're going to have to make room and food for about 474 more people than we already have, and that could be quite troubling. As some of you pointed out in the comments, if we stockpile a bunch of cryonic pods, it will be a hit to our stability. So we have to make sure that these people aren't staying asleep aboard the IXION for too long. We have to actually wake them up. So we want to make sure we're, bringing them in at a decent rate that we're able to wake them up without a stockpile happening. Though at the same time, we don't want to bring them in so slowly so as to stay in the system for too much longer and further escalate the negative to stability from spending too long in the system. You guys have pointed out that apparently when we do leave the system, that malice goes away, so that's great to know, but I also don't want it to escalate from that -1 to, who knows, a -5 or whatever if we stay here for that much longer. So we have to find that balance between moving quickly enough to avoid an escalating malice, without moving so quickly in other aspects to get another malice from having too many cryonic pods, while also being careful not to fall into a situation, let's call it, with regards to, yes, food and housing. A little nervous, a lot of moving parts, but I'm very excited to tackle them and figure them all out as we move forward with today's session. The first order of business is actually going to be to shut down this EVA airlock. We no longer need plus 22 hull integrity per cycle. We are already maxed out, and apart from that as well, I think switching this EVA airlock off will allow us to stockpile some alloys rather than, keep wasting it for every little bit of damage, having two EVA airlocks active at the same time. It'll allow us to use that power elsewhere, it'll allow us to use these workers elsewhere as well, and it'll allow us to seek out the equilibrium point with having just one active EVA airlock. Again, the more damage our hull has taken, the more efficiently the airlocks work, so there must be a sweet spot in there somewhere where we keep flipping back and forth between a negative number and a positive number as far as our balance is concerned. And if that sweet spot isn't too low, I'll be more than happy staying there for as long as possible, so that again our EVA airlocks aren't consuming power and people when not completely necessary, right? We're instead going to activate our tech lab down over here, get those people and power working over here, and we're going to chase after some upgrades, our first upgrades of the series, and this first one is actually going to be for the tech lab, chasing after assistant promotion. This will allow us to produce 3 science units every 5 cycles, which is a lot faster than what we're doing right now, and that will allow us to actually keep researching things moving forward, because who knows how many more science points are actually available out there, right? If we take a look at the system map, you'll see that there's only 11 science up over here. There might be more waiting for us at Neptune, but I don't really know if there's any more out there anywhere else. So let's go ahead and make sure that our tech lab is working as quickly as it can, and then we'll go ahead and investigate things like the upgrades to crew quarters. I'm thinking optimized quarters might be a good idea. It should make people happier, I imagine, because it says average quality accommodation, so I imagine that'll have an impact, and it'll also house more people without us chasing after cell housing, which costs so many more science points and will take a lot longer to house, yes, more people, but who knows how much space it'll take and how long it'll take us to actually get to that 60 science. Because the thing is, after I finish the optimized quarters, I would like to go chasing after upgrades to our insect farms to get accelerated growth. That food production speed increase will make a huge difference as we have more and more people waking up on IXION. So that is my plan of attack right now. Each of these upgrades will cost 30 research apiece, or 30 science apiece, I should say. So the first order of business is, yes, to go chasing after the tech lab upgrade with the assistant promotion, and then hopefully we'll be able to acquire the remaining, 13 science that we need. There's 11 available on Uranus, and so hopefully the remainder is available at Neptune, because otherwise we're kind of screwed with the extremely slow rate of science generation that the tech lab has. But that's enough talk of tech. Let's go ahead and take a look at our situation over here. Otherwise, the EVA airlock is off. Up over here, things are looking pretty good. We can go ahead, I think, and maybe get some of this stuff built and organize a proper mining operation. Right now, things are a little all over the place because we aren't really chasing the right things in the right places. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at fleet management and make sure the Hermes is actually chasing after all of our industrial goods over here, because Again, the cargo ship will arrive at the docking bay, and immediately things will be offloaded where they can actually be processed. So I think that makes the most sense. We'll go chasing after ice with you as well. We'll establish some more stockpiles for those, but cryonic pods will get the whale chasing after, because again, these guys have their stockpile in Sector 1, so it makes a lot more sense to reprioritize how these guys kind of work. And why don't we, on that same note, get electronics picked up with a whale as well, and chase after an additional cargo ship over here, just to try and more efficiently clean up the system so we can get a move on that much faster. So we'll get this bad boy built. Hopefully we have enough alloys here. Oh yeah, we do. We got 20 over here. And if we take a look at resource management really quickly, are we trying to maintain polymers? I said alloy, my apology. 20. That should be enough, right? That should be okay. All right, fair enough. And we'll go ahead and get these guys built up as well soon so that we can try and produce stuff locally as well and just consume as much raw material as possible before we move on as well. Let's go ahead and prioritize our crew quarters here, though, just to make sure that homelessness is taken care of and it doesn't start hurting our stability. And this will eat up a lot of alloys, but hey, we've got plenty to spare. With all that said and done, let's actually have time moving forward, and let's see what's going on down over here at Neptune. Summary of intelligence on Tiqqun Station. The room's security systems were designed to read biometric data. The doors were set only to open for Ulysses. Inside the room were large quantities of resources necessary for the survival of the station's residents. This security protocol may have been put in place in anticipation of a staff revolt. Okay, this has worked out beautifully. Now, what's a little scary is that that's another 50 people that we have to rescue, but there's the science that we need for our current research, some electronics as well, that's great. A new technology upgrade has been unlocked, which is kind of cool to see. Does that mean we have it, or does that mean we can now research it? I'm not 100% sure, but we'll check. But separately as well, I really like that we actually went and dealt with our previous circumstances from last session that allowed us to get the biometric data from Ulysses, or of Ulysses, to then, smoothly enter this space over here and pick all this good stuff up. That's worked out very nicely, actually. Very glad that worked out. But let's resume data listening protocol here and see what else we can do. Oh, nothing. Wow, okay. I wonder what would have happened if we tried to, blow our way in or something. Either way, let's go ahead and leave Tiqqun Station, and let's go ahead and collect that 15 science, and then quickly collect the 11 from Uranus as well, while also, I think, producing additional probes to just see if there are any other, opportunities out there to collect science, or perhaps maybe collect some more ice or something. See, when it comes to our technology, I would very much like to chase after the fusion station as soon as possible to transform 15 ice into 40 water every cycle, and then use that water for our crop farms, which will allow us to produce a lot more food than our insect farms are doing. For the time being, yes, we are, I wouldn't call it wasting, but we are investing in accelerated growth for the insect farms, but eventually I would like to chase after crop farms, but I think that eventuality is quite far away. 60 science is going to be hard to accumulate, I think, if it's not available out there in the system, so that's why we're doing this upgrade right now. And I think after the insect farm is done, which is going to happen after the crew quarters upgrades are done, we'll chase after, the fusion station and the crop farms shortly thereafter. So we want to try, stockpiling ice and stuff as well. I don't know how much of that is available out there right now. I mean, a little bit. There's more to be had, but lots of stuff to pick up and secure before we leave, I think. Lots to be done here still. As up over here, we're seeing the construction of Pandora almost completed. And up over here, these guys are being built up as well. Why don't we go ahead and organize these guys? So a polymer refinery. That means up over here, we'll want to stockpile polymer and carbon. This is the electronics factory, so here we'll want to stockpile electronics and silicon, sure. And we'll flip the switch on some of these guys to better balance how things are actually placed. Maybe we'll store, ice over here or something. I'm not sure how much space some of these other technologies will take, how much like a fusion station takes, but for the time being, we can stockpile stuff near the docking bay just to keep things organized. So sure, ice over here. Polymers will switch you off because polymers will be stored up over here, right? So instead, the polymers could be used to store, more ice. Why not? And we'll make further adjustments as needed. And we might actually want to build up more stockpiles over here because we might want to be able to hold more iron and alloys at any given time as hopefully production picks up. Now, many of you suggested actually that we are falling a little behind because we could perhaps build another steel mill. I just want to check before we do that. I just want to check our situation over here as far as the steel mill is concerned and what upgrades we can do for it. We can improve, it looks like, throughput, like how much alloy we get out of each iron, but we can't actually speed up the rate of alloy production. Huh. We can also reduce how much power it costs to run a steel mill. Okay, so down the line we might need multiple steel mills. That's all well and good. I just don't know if now is the time to pull the trigger on that. We'll see, because again, first I want to see if we're able to actually stockpile 2 stockpiles worth of alloy and give us a bit of breathing room, a runway, so to speak, as separately we have the Pandora cargo ship waiting on the metaphorical runway for orders. Let's go ahead and chase after iron. Let's go ahead and chase after nothing else with you, I think. Yeah, we'll let the Hermes chase after carbon and ice, and we'll let the Pandora chase after iron, and then once carbon and ice has been picked up, we'll go ahead and flip the switch and have both Hermes and Pandora chasing after iron. We might want another mining ship in place as well, just to actually go out there and do the mining, as I believe we have a probe ready to go. So let's go ahead and... Ooh, cryonic center has been disabled. Is this accident one that we have to repair ourselves? No, it'll auto-repair, fair enough. But yes, back to our task over here of launching the probe to hopefully find more points of interest. Again, points of interest is where science points reside, and if we can just get more of them through the Galileo, I think that'll be that much faster, and we'll actually be able to get like more work done. With that said, the Galileo does need to head on over to Uranus, right, to make sure we are gathering the science there. And it looks like there's a lot of iron and a lot of ice still to be picked up. My goodness. It was also pointed out to me that I've been kind of ignoring the belt. Let's just do a quick circle around the belt over here, just to make sure I haven't missed anything particularly viable or valuable. This is a good spot over there. A little far away, but I don't think distance is as much of a problem now as it once was. Lots of ice nearby us as well. And some up over there too. Okay, I thought I saw a good spot here. Sure. Let's pop this probe over here. And you know what? Let's go ahead and get the auto production of probes happening, just so that we're doing as much scouting as quickly as possible before we move on from this system. Again, like I said, I want to basically strip mine this entire system before we leave, as much as possible. I think as soon as we have all the cryonic pods collected and woken up, or maybe just collected, I think we're going to prepare for our vol jump to reach the Protagoras. But what's going on over here? We are running low on alloys, are we? No, we're not running low on alloys. It's just that we don't have enough alloys in Sector 2 compared to Sector 1, and I think that's because I've commissioned so much construction all at the same time. I mean, the electronics factory is maybe being rushed a little bit. Let's go ahead and turn these guys off. Just because I have them built doesn't mean I need to have them running, and the reason why I want to have them built is to see what our circumstances are before we leave, right? I want to make sure that I'm not in the next system going, dang, I wish I had more alloys. I would much rather be like, okay, I'm glad I built all these core necessities up, and I don't have to waste, so to speak, alloys on these constructions. So we'll keep this off for the time being, maybe wait for more people to wake up and get some more workers in Sector 2 before hurting our working conditions. And we should probably also consider additional power generation too. I think we have enough electronics for it. Do we have enough alloys in the right sectors? Sector 1 has 45 polymer. I keep calling them alloys. My apologies. Do we have the right amount of polymers? Let's go ahead and turn this EVA airlock back on, I suppose. Do we have enough power? We do. Just barely enough. We are seeing extra hours as far as condition is concerned, like working conditions. Let's go ahead and build up solar panel set 1. Let's go for it. Cost 1 electronics and 45 polymers. Almost called them alloys again. We should be able to manage that. And hopefully we didn't waste it all in building another probe. We're just getting a little close to a blackout, and I don't like that because that does hurt our trust instantaneously, and things are already, you know, kind of neutral right now. People aren't as happy as they once were, so I just want to be very careful about literally everything as far as potentially upsetting people. Polymer refineries off as well. We'll keep these guys on so they can collect resources at least as they come in, and we can perhaps move things on a little bit faster as the Galileo over here is done at Neptune and can now head on over to Uranus to see what's left there. Now we can go ahead and launch our probe, or is it a little early? I want to make sure that we are building our solar panel first. We are indeed. Okay, now we can launch our probe then. Just want to make sure the auto build didn't steal polymers that we needed elsewhere. Let's go ahead and send you over to where? I think we're done our points of interest, truth be told. I think they're think they're all gone. We've explored all of the planets in our system, I believe. And now it's just a matter of finding more things to mine. There's a lot of ice available nearby here. Some silicon here as well. Sure. What about... Is there a sweet spot between both of those resources? Doesn't seem to be the case. Okay, fair enough. Anything else anywhere? Lots of carbon there. Lots of ice there. Okay, let's try medium. Would I take this risk? Do I end up between two spots that give us nothing? High chance of silicon there. It's that water that I worry about. Or I should say ice. Let's send you over to here. See what that does for us. We'll produce more probes. We'll produce more probes. We'll do more scouting. That's okay. That's okay. Down over here, these guys are fine. You're taking care of your waste. Okay, fair enough. Need a lot more alloys to finish construction up over here. Just alloy production has slowed down a little bit. Let's speed time up. The probe completing its work. Another probe about to be done as well. Food is still looking okay. And how's research looking? We are able to assign our upgrade to optimized quarters and start draining some of the science there. So let's get that bad boy done. And we'll go ahead and, yeah, make room for more people before they actually arrive, right? I'm pretty sure we're going to see housing issues sooner rather than later. So I want to try and get ahead of that if possible. And what we'll probably do is shift a lot of workers over to Sector 2. In fact, on that note, why don't we go ahead and prioritize workers going to Sector 2 right off the bat so that we're not seeing overcrowding over here. I do believe we have some room available in Sector 2. Yes, about 5 spots as far as housing is concerned. But we have plenty of room to build more houses, whereas things are getting a little tight in Sector 1. So let's try and move people to the right place right off the bat, as opposed to you know, having to deal with migration and the time delay that comes with migration. Separately, these guys are slowly being built, very slowly, very surely. All right, fair enough. No rush, no pressure, right? Everything's fine. Everything's fine. We're starting to pile on some iron and carbon over here. Hopefully, it does get shipped over. Oh yeah, okay. We're seeing construction happening over here. Again, it's so funny to see them like very smoothly go drop off iron, and it looks like in like the same swoop almost, a bunch come in with alloys to drop them off at the construction site. We're looking good though. We're looking very good. All right, down over here, these guys are fine and working away. Let's make sure they've got their assignments appropriately placed. Let's turn that off because we don't need it anymore. This is looking all right. Oh, I do wonder about an additional mining ship just to get more iron actually mined for acquisition, right? Yeah, sure. Let's go for it. Up over here, let's get another mining ship. Do we have enough polymers up over here? I think we perhaps did not, but I'm not in a rush, so I don't mind too much, because eventually all this carbon is going to be turned into polymers, right? As soon as this guy's done, this polymer refinery, and these guys are done, we'll see some movement on that front, so I think we'll be okay. Separately over here, we have another accident. It shouldn't take too long to get fixed up. And wow, look at that. 73% done already. Very promising. Very, very promising. That's a lot faster than I expected. Now, granted, I am playing at speed 3, so that's obviously got something to do with it, but hey, I'll take it. Let's go ahead and launch this additional probe, see if we can't find anything else out there. Wow, that's a huge ice deposit. We don't even have room for that much ice. We activated, what, 2 stockpiles, I think, right? Do we need that much ice? I don't think so. I mean, hope I don't live to regret those words. I mean, I hope I live. I hope I don't regret those words. Lots of carbon available over here. That's probably a good idea, right? Get more polymers in place. God knows there's already plenty of iron coming through. All right, sure. Why don't we go ahead and pop you down over there? It's very nearby. Shouldn't take too long to mine and acquire. And the Galileo is actually done. I don't think... Let's take a look here. We've got Mercury. We've got Earth. We got Venus. Oh, let's do this in order, otherwise I'm going to throw myself off. We got Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune. Was Uranus. I skipped past Uranus on the talk of doing it in order. Nonetheless, Uranus between Saturn and Neptune, obviously. And I do believe I left your boy out. All right, so no more planets to go chasing after. I think the Galileo's done its exploration of the system. So let's head back to the Tiqqun, because right now there are 5 crew members who could be working back on the station, perhaps. Maybe they could be used elsewhere rather than just kind of floating about in the void of space. And separately, power is looking good. Food is looking all right. In fact, we've got too much of it. That's just for now, obviously. We're still waiting for a lot more people to be woken up. And we have 193 workers in Sector 1 and 104 in Sector 2. Just trying to keep a track of that, as homelessness seems to be causing some issues, as is what? Oh, this accident over here? Negative stability from storing more than 250 unopened cryonic pods in this station. There it is. Yikes, that's actually hurting our trust. And we need to pick up the pace on waking some of these cryonic pods up. Let's go ahead and turn on the alternative life center. And let's go ahead and turn off the EVA airlock over here because we don't need it anymore. Hull integrity is looking fine. Again, there's some extra damage happening because of a damaged building, but that'll be repaired soon enough, and we should be able to stay on top of things as we have stability issues here in Sector 2 as well. So let's turn on the alternative life center and try and at least maintain a neutral status. Okay. Those cryonic pods need to be woken up. As up over here, let's go ahead and assign you to alloys and you to iron. Hopefully I don't regret that, but I think this placement makes the most sense. Easy access to both of these stockpiles for storage and pickup, and then we have all this room for batteries as well as down over here. Yes, we have 2 slots for ice, and now carbon is being brought up over here, and it'll be processed into polymers up over here. Sector's being overworked. I assume that is Sector 2. What's happening to all the workers we're waking up, and can I actually ship some more over right now? We have 195 workers in Sector 1. We need 186. So why don't we go ahead and get 10 workers from Sector 1 to Sector 2. Start that migration, and we'll have to do some adjustment for housing, I think, as well, right? Because we have housing for just a few more people. A little bit of homelessness doesn't hurt. I mean, mechanically speaking, a little bit of homelessness doesn't hurt. But oh my God, these guys are still negative. Oh, because of the overwork conditions. Okay. Let's get those workers over and hopefully at least get these guys back to neutrality, because I don't like that dropped trust per cycle. There we go. That looks better. Hull integrity over 25. No, what? Oh, I see what's happening. We're seeing a back and forth because of the cryonic pods being stockpiled and being woken up. All right. Okay. All right. I'll accept that for the time being. As up over here, we're almost done our upgrade to the quarters. Optimized quarters will be nice. Let's get those done ASAP, and let's speed time up as well, as there's our population transfer done. Still overworked over here, eh? Oh, that's not good. That's, wow, we need quite a few more people. I mean, I could turn the polymer refinery off, I suppose, though we are using it. We could turn these guys off, sure. That's 10 workers freed up, and that's just us down to extra hours now. Just got to remember to turn these guys back on eventually, but for the time being, we can keep them off and just keep the polymers coming through, because we are, yes, trying to produce probes and launch them and stay on top of scouting as well, just in case there's something particularly valuable out there. Now, hydrogen is needed to produce power in a nuclear power plant, which I think we're a ways away from, so I don't think I need to rush that. Eventually, though, of course, we will need it as we run out of slots for solar panels, right? So just got to keep that in mind as... what do we chase after? I mean, damn, we might as well pick up some hydrogen where we know some is available. Because my thinking is, who knows what's out there? Who knows what's in the next system? Who knows what resources won't be available and how quickly we'll have to leave and how much we'll regret having left behind back over here. So maybe we go chasing after some of the hydrogen. All right, I'm thinking that's the right call. Because we got plenty of iron coming through. Some more carbon wouldn't kill us. But sure, let's go ahead and chase after hydrogen if I can find it. And before I do that, actually, leave the scan view over to the interior view. I just want to make sure we are able to stockpile hydrogen without needing any, what's it called, policies. Because, again, we can't actually manage waste until we have the right policy available. And on that note, I want to point out as well that we'll need the DLS center if we want to actually start using policies. So that's something we might want to prioritize the research of as well. Nonetheless, that distraction aside, back to our map over here and back to our source of hydrogen, if I can find it again. There we go. Medium. Wouldn't be nice to have a high density source, because then we don't need as many of them. Medium over here as well, looks like. Okay, fair enough. Alright, fine. Have it your way, game. We'll go chasing up over here. It is closer as well, so I guess that's nice. And let's make sure that we are actually getting the right ships, chasing after the right stuff. Did I not commission the... I did. it's being built slowly but surely. It only just procured all of the polymers it needed. Fair enough. Let's go ahead and deal with, yes, fleet management. Make sure we are chasing after the right things over here. The Hermes should get iron as well. Still some ice to be collected. We're almost maxed out, so might as well prioritize or reprioritize iron. Yes, we're maxed out on iron as well, but a lot of room for alloys to be produced, right? So let's keep that acquisition alive while we almost have Conan here completed. My goodness, what a name. To go out there and pick up some more iron, I think, just to get more iron available. Not pick up, but mine out, I should say, more iron. Homelessness is beginning to kick in. We are looking at neutral working conditions still because most people are still living in crew quarters, so that's all well and good. Though, what's the food situation looking like? Ooh, okay. Starting to get somewhat concerning. Hopefully we have enough of a runway, though, to get all the research I wanted to get done before we have to just, put down a bunch more insect farms. We'll see if push comes to shove. Of course, I'm not averse to building more insect farms as opposed to just upgrading the existing ones. But let's go ahead and take a look at Conan over here and get you mining more iron. Why don't we get the Cataphract over here mining more carbon and silicon specifically. No one's able to mine ice anymore. And that should be all well and good. Feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good about our current circumstances, to be honest. And I don't think we have to launch another probe. I mean, I feel like we found everything we need to find. We're going to be stockpiling hydrogen as well, so why don't we go ahead and make sure that we build an actual stockpile for that purpose right up over here, I think, while also managing our working conditions, right? What are we looking at? Over here we have 186 workers. No, we have 192. We need 186. So why don't we go ahead and move a couple workers over. 10 from Sector 1 to Sector 2. Make sure they're workers. And housing will still be a bit of an issue. But I just want to get the optimized housing researched first. We're almost there. 93%. We are almost there. And then we can start investing in some of those changes, right? Good stuff, good stuff. Things are looking pretty good. Hull integrity is still all right. Yes, it's still dropping, but not at so scary a rate, as again you can see the EVA airlock's efficiency increases as damage is done. And separately as well, when we end up with just optimal working conditions up over here, we'll see an even better sort of balance over here. I could perhaps, I think we have enough polymers for the time being. Let's turn you off until more workers are awoken. And wow, that's still not enough to get us optimal, is it? Okay. Not what I was expecting, as the steel mill has gone down now. All right, let's go ahead and repair that. And let's turn on our silicon stockpile, I guess. Because we have it all stockpiled up over here. Yes, we do. Do we need silicon over here? I don't think we do. So why don't we go ahead and use resource management to get Sector 1, getting rid of all of its silicon, and get Sector 2 to actually max out. Can I? Yes, I can. But we do, of course, I think need to turn this actually on to make sure it's collecting the resource. Then we'll switch it back off afterwards. Alloys coming through again. Good stuff, good stuff. And what do we have over here? Oh, I guess our research is done because we now have optimized quarters. Okay, let's immediately, without wasting any time, start chasing after the insect farm upgrade with accelerated growth. It will hopefully be done in time to, not lose our existing stockpile of food. But I do think that's the right move as far as research is concerned. And let's go ahead and build up our optimized quarters. These guys are a fair bit bigger. And I just wonder if we don't want to actually replace the old housing, because this does what? It holds 40 crew members in average quality accommodations, and that means the same space that houses 30 people in, like, what's it called, limited quality accommodations, will now house 10 more people in better accommodations in that same space. So it might be a good idea to do that, but first let's go ahead and just build one of these over here, and maybe a second one over here as well. Again, following the blueprint we set out over here, right, where housing is kind of in the middle, with the infirmary in place as well. A couple of adjustments, of course, but I think this is a good place to start, as we'll start consuming more alloys and then make sure we maintain that flow of iron to alloy, and rather, I should say, space to stockpile to steel mill to alloy stockpile, right? Just want to get as much as we can from here before we leave. Over here, ice is stocked up. Okay, we don't need any more ice. Stop bringing any more in, Hermes. We have plenty of room, actually, on the docking bay itself, but let's not prioritize that too much. We currently have about 300 units of ice And if I'm not mistaken, 300 units of ice can be transformed to water at a very, very massive rate, though I don't know the rate of consumption of water, obviously, right? Like, if we see the fusion station, 15 ice becomes 40 water. Excellent. But how much water is needed to run that crop farm? I do not know, right? So let's not get too cocky looking at these numbers and seeing how high they are in the hundreds or whatever. Let's maintain our composure and keep trying to stay on top of things as these guys are being built up. There we go. Optimized quarters over here. Should be quite good for us. Homelessness will be solved in Sector 2 immediately. Sector 1 is still suffering. Do we send more workers over? What do we got over here? How many workers do we actually need? We have about 10 extra. Are we not sending workers over? Is this not working as intended? Is there a problem here, officer? I don't understand. But let's go ahead and make a move over here. Population management. Yeah, another 10 from Sector 1 to Sector 2. Make sure they're only workers. And hopefully that balances out nicely enough as we, I think, yeah, start dismantling some of these structures to get new housing units in place. Yeah, I think that's the call. We have room enough for the salvaged alloys, so let's go for it. Dismantle away. And I do hope I don't regret this decision. I hope the waste isn't so much that, you know, I'm acting a fool right now. But I do think this will work out nicely overall. Just fitting more people in less space. Space is a resource that's not listed across the top over here, but it is very much a limited resource. Let's pop you down there. And as soon as you're done, we'll pop the optimized one down over here as well. Oh, come on now. Don't get distracted by the construction and stop the dismantling. I believe in you. You can do both at the same time. Come on now. It is fun to see the numbers change. I'm a huge sucker for that kind of thing. Come on, you're almost done. The cryopod's over here maxed out. My goodness. No one left behind might have been a very scary objective. Directive, I should say. Another accident over here. It is being automatically taken care of. Good stuff. Over here, we are okay. We lack alloys? No, we lack access. Let's go ahead and build a road from here to here. Not the prettiest layout, but that leaves room enough to put another big optimized housing unit down over here and perhaps a smaller one up over here as well. So that should be good for us. Making more room. Yeah, the extra unopened cryonic pods are a little problematic. Not the end of the world, but a little concerning. Just a touch. Things are looking pretty good otherwise, though. Iron is capped out. Yeah. We have room for iron here as well. So what I could do is I could get the whale after it's done picking up electronics and cryonic pods. We'll get it chasing after iron too. Because we do have a stockpile here, it can be a temporary holding center until it gets shifted over to the stockpiles over here, right? And I think that'll work out nicely enough as the alloys continue to be produced too. We're nowhere near maxed out as far as alloys are concerned, so we'll keep that in mind. And I just wonder if I need more solar panels. That's not what I meant to click. I meant to click on you. Just because that's getting kind of tight. Not a lot of wiggle room. It's about 35. And we have enough... we don't actually have enough polymers to build this. But we can get started, yes. And then go ahead and turn our refinery back on. Because again, that's 5 power. This is 30 power. It'll take us right to our limit. Yeah, okay, cool. I definitely want more solar panels out there, for sure. As we've actually, wow, hit a perfect equilibrium. Our balance per cycle is nil. Wasn't expecting that, and it's at about 2/3, though that is while construction is active, which means as soon as construction stops, or no, I guess construction isn't active just quite yet, because we don't have all the polymers in place. Alright, okay, so this is actually our perfect equilibrium. I wonder how long we can actually maintain that. All it takes is a little accident or... Wow. Speak of the devil, that's all it takes for hull integrity to start dropping immediately again, right? So let's go ahead and repair this. And have this go down again. A good reason to maybe have a second steel mill, but I just don't know where I would place it, right? Like, we don't have enough room there. If I put it down over here, we'll eat up space for our docking bays, but maybe we only need 2 docking bays, and then we'll have room for another steel mill down over here or something. Stuff to think about, but for the time being, I'm okay with just the one, even when it's non-operational. What's the situation up over here? Looking okay? Yep. Looking alright. More carbon coming through, more polymers being produced at a decent enough rate. Solar panel isn't a rush per se. I don't need it now, but I need it within the next, 10 minutes or something. As over here, we have what? The active buildings in Sector 2 cannot hospitalize all injured crew members. Oh no. 16 crew members are injured in Sector 2. Injured crew members will die after a few cycles if they are not hospitalized. Hopefully, Sachandra Alawalia here and Andri Renavo, sorry, alongside Nilesh Share and now... Okay, there's quite a few people who will hopefully be taken care of quickly enough that this won't remain a problem, but that is kind of scary. As back down over here, we continue to see a homelessness situation. Why don't we go ahead and dismantle these guys as well and replace them with a better housing unit. Obviously, temporarily, we're seeing much more homelessness, but that is temporary, right? We'll get these guys swapped out soon enough. And up over here, what are we looking at? Alloys are coming through again. So still a concern. Don't know how quickly they recover. Optimized quarters down over here. We might do the same across all these buildings as well. Just going to keep an eye on this for a little bit of time. There's no percentage or time estimate or anything. I don't want to lose somebody to an injury. That'd be ridiculous. It almost looks like these bars aren't even filling up. I mean, of course they are, but it feels like they're not. And that makes me a little nervous. Do I put down another infirmary, or is one enough? I mean, this is clearly telling us that one isn't sustainable, right? So we have to worry about that, as I do also need to worry about electronics over here not being available to actually build up our outdoor construction. What if I turn you on? Will you be able to contribute? Should be able to. We have electronics stored here. There we go. Good stuff. Now I can turn you back off. Yep. And construction is ongoing. Yes. Okay. Excellent. Now our hull integrity is going to drop because we're doing repairs, but that's okay. I'm not too concerned about that. That should be fine. Okay, good. Our infirmary situation is taken care of. Okay. I was a little worried there for a second, but it was just a few more moments. I guess it needed a whole cycle, I think, to update those bars. I was just getting needlessly nervous. Meanwhile, we can probably move some more workers over because they're overworked in Sector 2. So population management, they have room for quite a few more people. We have 225 workers here, so we can actually shift about 40. I'm not going to do that many. I'm going to shift about, let's say, 30 from Sector 1 to Sector 2. All workers, start that migration. And that should hopefully cover our bases for both sectors as far as optimal working conditions are concerned. Separately, if we take a look at fleet management, looks like a lot of mining has been completed. There's still some iron out there. And we're still picking up lots of iron. No need for more ice, as we said previously. Carbon. Do we want more carbon? Yes, I think we do. Let's go ahead and get Hermes over here chasing after carbon, just so it can be processed into polymers. And the whale can go chasing after iron. Electronics will pick up as well, sure. Hopefully they'll grab it, and it can be a last-minute thing as well before we leave the system, right?
Hull integrity below 50%.
It's a good warning. Here I am looking for equilibrium. Instead, we are below 50%, but once construction is done, yeah, we're going to start repairs. So that's okay. And if I feel very nervous about it, I can turn this one back on as well. But people aren't concerned about hull integrity until it's below 25%, so we should be okay. Yes, excellent. Do we want to get optimized quarters over here as well? I think so. Go ahead and dismantle all of you. Let's go. What's our alloy situation looking like? As long as we have room for the alloys, right? And this will, yes, cause homelessness, at least temporarily. But I think it's the right call to get these upgraded structures in place sooner rather than later. Again, right, I want to get ahead of trouble. I don't want to be playing catch-up all the time. Get that done. Let's get this done as well. Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, fantastic. All right. Seems a little too easy. Seems a little too easy. Actually get you chasing after the hydrogen? Sure. Alright, this is looking good. Can turn this off. We've picked up all the electronics. Can turn this off. Yeah, things are looking pretty good. Iron should be dropped off over here and then immediately transferred over as well to be processed into alloys. Alloys are being consumed by pretty much everything. Let's go ahead and turn you on just to keep an eye on our actual power situation and our battery situation as well, right? 1.8 cycles isn't a long time, so perhaps we'd actually want to build up more batteries too. All it takes is alloys, so let's go ahead and pop you down over there. And do we need another one over here? This will last how long? 3 cycles? That's enough time. So why don't we go ahead and get another battery over here perhaps? Sure, let's do that. Consume some of those alloys again just to maximize our utilization of this this system before we leave. And I could also chase after more electronics, I think. What's wrong? 11 crew members were injured? My goodness. My goodness. I think, if I recall correctly, low stability accelerates, or rather increases, how many people end up injured and stuff, right? So I think that's what's hurting us over there. Because over here, people are actually happy. Ooh, yeah, see, I had a feeling. +2 from people living mostly in optimized quarters. So that does make a significant difference to sector stability. All right, down over here, let's get to work. Temporary pain for long-term gain, right? No pain, no gain, as they say. Let's go ahead and dismantle. Hold on, how do I want these guys lined up? Lengthwise, or... We'll be able to fit just as many either way. Let's go lengthwise, just to match. Dismantle. Slow time down a little bit, so we're giving these commands at roughly the same time as far as the game is concerned. Go ahead and do that. Yup. And leave it at that, and then we'll build these up before we dismantle these guys as well. Get more people in optimized quarters, and they'll be much happier for it. And that should help counteract the negativity, though homelessness over here is a bit of a problem already. So let's go ahead and start the optimized quarters as soon as that one goes down. Okay, there we go. We're okay, we're okay. We're okay. Construction over here will start shortly. Yeah, there it is. And then this will start dismantling as well, these two. We can start building up over there too. Homelessness is quite high actually right now. Being over 25%. Okay, got it. So it's percentage-based homelessness that affects stability. Good to know if it works based on numerical thresholds or percentage thresholds. Like if it's just like a... Oh, 50 people or 100 people are homeless, and so people are upset. Or if it's 25% of people are homeless, and so people are upset. Percentage, I think, makes much more sense, so that's good to see. And this will house another 40 people, so we should be okay once this gets built up. And what is our actual population system looking like? Or situation looking like, I should say. Yeah, we have plenty more people than we need, and we have room for plenty more in Sector 2. So let's go ahead and move 30 people, I think. Yeah, we'll still be fine. From Sector 1 to Sector 2, make sure it's only workers, start that migration. And again, don't forget that everyone who's being awoken as a non-worker is probably staying in Sector 1, right? Yes. And actually, on the topic of things I need to remember, we should remember to check our food situation. Yikes. How's research looking? 53% of the way there. Oh boy, we might be at the the very edge of our stockpile when research is done. A little concerning, but we'll see, How's the system looking? I don't think we have to send another probe out. I don't think there's anything else left to find. No point of interest have been highlighted when we kind of look around, so I think that's pretty much it. So what I'll do is I'll keep this probe in my back pocket so that when we arrive at the new sector, we're able to quickly start looking around without having to wait for any construction or any further investment or anything like that. So we'll just keep this one in our back pocket and make a move afterwards. Hydrogen, actually, I guess we could try and seek out an additional hydrogen deposit, because currently we're only picking up 38 and we have room for 100, so we might as well, when we know hydrogen is available in this neck of the woods, right? Where was it again? I know there's some out there. God, there's so much iron. They're up over here. Scoop some up. We'll go ahead and build our next probe, and hopefully mine hydrogen. Raw resources available for mining, 0. 38's available for pickup. Okay, gotcha. So Hermes, why don't you focus on that as well as carbon? That should do the trick. Hopefully. Up over here, we cannot build you up because we do not have a road connection. Right, gonna need that. Established. At least you have 2.7 cycles worth of batteries over here now. Yeah, that's good. All integrity is looking okay. Again, around that 2/3 spot, right? So that's all well and good. Feeling comfy about that. Yeah, alright, cool. Dare I say things are looking alright? I don't think I dare. These guys are happy as well, from people mostly living in optimized quarters, but still 100 cryonic pods to go, right? 227 are sitting... Oh my goodness. That's 327 cryonic pods to go then. Right. Okay, let's keep up the work over here. Dismantle you and you. Got to be careful about how quickly I do this, as we are having some trouble with regards to food. I think that's primarily the distribution of food, because population now is what? 33 and 20 as far as food requirements are concerned. So let's make sure we are holding on to, in Sector 1, let's say 35, right? That should be enough. And in Sector 2, we should be holding on to, let's say 25, which is more food than we have. Alright, cutting it real close over here. Cutting it real close. Let's turn the cryonic center off for the time being, just to pace ourselves, because we're already in a touch of trouble over here as far as food's concerned. Now let's go ahead and build up our optimized quarters over here, and hopefully avoid mass like famine. Is there any other kind of famine? Is there such a thing as a minor famine? I don't know, but this is looking very scary. 63% of the way there. Food is draining extremely quickly, and we might see minor starvation within the next handful of cycles. I think we'll beat it. I think we'll beat it. Just need more science. I wish we had a few more science points out there to collect. I gotta say though, we got very lucky that I went chasing after the assistant promotion first. Because if we didn't have that, science would be coming at a much lower rate, and we would have had to leave a lot sooner without having awoken anybody. Now, granted, despite having the 250 unopened cryonic pods in the station, both of our sectors are currently happy, and their working conditions are also optimal. So things are actually okay right now, all things considered. But yeah, I want to make sure we don't find ourselves in too much trouble. Maybe I should get that cell housing sooner rather than later. I think we'll quite urgently need it, as up over here we can go ahead and dismantle you. Again, just trying to use up as many alloys here as possible before we ship to our next system, just to make sure that all is well when we arrive to the next location. Alright, good stuff. Very good stuff, very good stuff. You're dealing with waste, that's okay. Up over here, do I want to get the electronics factory up and running? I guess we can. Good stuff. We got a small stockpile with an accident somewhere. We're okay. That's not a problem. That's okay. 73% as far as food is concerned. So wait, hang on a second. I guess we picked up all the cryonic pods. Yeah, right. I guess that happened a while ago. There's just all this iron out there. Once we max out our iron and alloy situation, I think we might head on out. Maybe I'll wait to see what this technology does for us in terms of what we need to build afterwards. Because, I mean, again, with optimized quarters, I was not expecting to have to build more buildings. I thought these guys would become optimized, but that was a bit of a surprise. Hopefully the upgrade to our insect farms doesn't involve having to build more stuff. If it does, that's okay. We have room enough to make those adjustments, but I wanna be prepared for that rather than surprised by it, obviously. All right, this is looking all right. 82, 83, researching fast enough. Sounds good. Sounds good. Lots of iron coming through as well, being shipped over. Are we? Resource Management Sector 1, you are holding on to no iron. Sector 2, I think, might already be basically maxed out. Close enough. Close enough. What needs my attention? Oh. Accident over here, and there's another event, actually. Oh, it's the event that needs my attention. Alright. Been a minute since we've seen one of these. What do you got for me here? In limbo. Administrator. There are lots of cryonic pods in storage. Living with the knowledge that loved ones could potentially be alive and in cryonics is not having a positive impact on the crew. To ensure humanity's survival, the Tiqqun will need as many crew members as possible. Addressing the buildup of cryonic pods in the station stockpiles is recommended. Yes, I'm aware. I could pledge to awaken 50 within 24 cycles, or the crew should focus on something more productive. Can I make this promise? 50 in 24 cycles. That shouldn't be too bad, right? Sure, I'll make that pledge. What's the worst that could happen? Famous last words. What's the worst that could happen? Let's go ahead and turn you back on. And as soon as we fulfill that objective, I'm going to turn this thing back off. So we're, again, managing the, food situation. That's the worst that could happen. Famine. Right, right. Listen, I've taken on the pledge, and we're going with it. We're going with it. Do we really not have silicone? I guess not. Huh. Alright. Fleet management. There is some to pick up. Want to go ahead and pick some up. And we could also maybe seek out mining more as well. Just to, again, drain as much as we can from the system before we leave it. See if we can't find a good deposit somewhere. Sure, there's something out there. Hopefully nearby. Oh, there's something right there. Sure, go for it. Go for it, and let's go ahead and make sure that... the cataphract is mining it. Because right now it's mining absolutely nothing. That's on me. And that should, again, just make sure we've used up as much as possible over here. Whereas over here we seem to have reached our limit as far as storage is concerned. Indeed. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. No need to worry about that. I mean, I guess I could invest in more solar panels, just to give us more wiggle room, and so we're not worrying about repairs when the hull depletion has been increased further. Maybe not a terrible idea. External construction. Let's go chasing after, I guess, yeah, this set. That'll unlock more of these options further down the line. 60 polymers, 2 electronics. We have that. Go for it. And that'll give us plenty of room as far as power is concerned. That feels good. Just making preparations for departure. Can't be too safe. 83% still over here. Almost going to get another 3 science. I don't know if that's enough to get us completed, but food is very tight. Oh my goodness. Not enough food in Sector 2 to feed all crew members during the next meal. I don't think I can actually shift any over. We have 34 here, and we have 14 here. And that's exactly what we need in Sector 1, so we can't actually shift any over to Sector 2. If I take a look at resource management, Sector 1 is holding on to 35, so let's keep it at 34. Not 234, but 34. And Sector 2 at 25. 20 would do the trick as well. Let's say 21, just to have a bit of wiggle. Just that any other food that actually gets collected gets sent to the right place, right? And granted, that's looking at stockpiles. I don't think it's actually looking at the mess halls. So I just wonder if we can adjust our numbers a bit more temporarily, right? It's all temporary solutions right now. Sector 1, let's say your food storage is going to be 30. Let's try that. Let's see what happens there. We're actually at 21 right now. Yikes, that's not good. Let's go ahead and say 15 for the time being. And now they should start shifting some goods over, whereas this is going to hold on to its 34. I think we've bought ourselves enough time, but it looks like we'll need a bit more science before we're able to complete this tech. Damn, got so close. Got so close. Alright, that's okay, that's okay, that's okay. Speed time up a little bit. A little bit of homelessness in Sector 1. Not too much, just a touch, so that means we'll go ahead and replace some of these guys with the optimized quarters, because again, they'll fit 10 more people in the same amount of space, so that makes sense to me. Down you go. Number 1, quickly now, quickly now. And number 2 as well. Let's get her done. Let's pop you down over here. Almost at our stockpile limit. And we're halfway through to awakening as many pods as we needed. I hope our delay in clicking the activate button didn't hurt us and prevent us from achieving our goal over here. We should be okay. I think we're fine. But separately, we have to worry about the food situation. Not enough food in Sector 1 or in Sector 2 now. Oh, come on, baby. I need this research. I need this research stat. I need this research done yesterday. Maybe I should have paced myself a bit more, because we might be in a touch of trouble. Just a touch, just a touch. What's the deal over here? Electronics takes a fair bit of time to make, eh? 1 every 3 cycles, my goodness. That's okay. Solar panels can wait a little bit. We're not in a super rush. I don't need them yesterday. They can be done when they get done. But this... Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Research is done. What does that mean for us? Are we seriously still seeing -3 every 5 cycles? Hang on a second. We're now only producing 1.1 every cycle, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... 0.7 extra. Yeah, I guess it's not that much. Alright, more insect farms it is then, I suppose, as we prepare to research our next technology, which would be what? Which would be what? If we take a look at the tech tree over here, maybe we go chasing after fusion stations to go chasing after crop farms, or do we hit up the DLS center to see if there are any policies to reduce like food consumption or something like that, right? 60 science means these will take a very, very long time. But look, food, I think, is the big problem. Insect farms, what are the upgrades you got? Nothing we can actually get right now. Mess hall upgrades include advanced logistics, which is only for feeding more people. It doesn't change how much food they actually need. And I think that's the same across the board. Stellar cuisine. This is what I need. Technology tier 3 is required to unlock this. So what does that mean? Technology tier 3? Is this not tier 3? Is this not 1, 2, 3? And they're all completed? No? Or battery tier 1. Yeah, okay. Okay, hang on. Mess hall. We have to go upwards through all of these, but one food can feed 100% more crew members per meal. I mean, that's huge. That's huge. But I just don't know how much of an investment it is before we can actually get down there. Alright, fusion station it is, so we can start getting some crop farms going. Because again, waste management isn't an option just quite yet. So there's no need to chase after the mushroom wall. Where are we? Fusion station. Let's go. Yeah. 5 cycles it'll take. That's not accurate. We can't be producing enough science for that. That's predicting if we have a continuous flow of science, it'll take us 5 cycles, which we're not producing a continuous flow of science. Okay, a little nerve-wracking. These guys are being built up though, and I still don't think that'll be enough. We might need even more insect farms out over here. Let's go ahead and build another one down over here. Can we fit another one here? We cannot. And fit one up over here perhaps. Bit of an urgent situation, isn't it? We'll reorganize this as soon as the crop farms become available, but overall I think we are in a maybe comfortable enough position to make a move. Iron could be collected. We have a bit more room available, so let's just take a look at our fleet management over here. We are scooping up leftover iron. I don't need more ice, though I suppose we could chase after it and store it on the at the cargo bay, right? So we'll do that. Get you chasing iron as well, and as soon as we max out our stockpiles, I guess we could make a move. What's the food situation looking like? Homelessness is also continuing to be a bit of a problem. Let's go ahead and build up more housing, or we could shift some people over to Sector 2, where food is a serious problem.
Hull integrity below 50%.
Yeah, this construction is almost done. Once it's done, we'll go ahead and start repairing again. Not too worried about hull integrity. Food, though. Food. What to do with food? Alright, we are looking at positive balances now per cycle, but we just don't have the stockpile to keep us ahead. 38 back over here, which is exactly what we need. We need 20 up over here. Alright, what's our resource management looking like? Food in Sector 2, chasing 21. I'm almost tempted to send people over from Sector 1 to Sector 2, but you know what, Sector 1 is already working extra hours, so we should keep people here. Let's go ahead and build up a set of optimized quarters over here. We'll dismantle these guys and replace them shortly as well. And then we'll have to maybe unlock an additional sector as well for more housing. Or, yeah, chase after cell housing. Not entirely certain. Let's get some optimized housing built over here as well, just for future usage. But first, yes, we need to get our food situation figured out, as things are kind of tight. Things are kind of tight. Only for a little while longer. I do think that technology has helped us. I don't know if it's helped us enough. We might need to get some more insect farms established in Sector 2 as well. Just to keep things comfortable. Because, yikes. Big yikes. This is almost done being built. Yep. And that'll house everybody. And we've actually, you know what? Overdone it. We've way overdone it. We can stop waking more people up. And we just at the right time as well. Because our balance over there is zeroed out. My goodness. Yikes. And over here we have a strike. Stability is low. Strikes will occur in 4 cycles. What can we shut down over here? Let's go ahead and shut down the electronics factory. But optimal working conditions anyway. These guys are angry. These guys are angry. -3 stability from having more than 5% of the sector's population starving. I mean, I don't blame them. That is obviously a very upsetting set of circumstances. But food is on its way. Food is coming. Food is coming. Just got to give it some time, folks. Hang in there. I wish I'd noticed the objective get completed a bit sooner. We might have not been in as much of a hole, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Are we delivering food over? It looks like it. Yeah, and it's immediately being ported over to the mess hall. Alright, so one more meal cycle should be the end of this starvation, I think. We'll see. We're about to hit that meal cycle, I believe, now. Can we get enough food in here? We need, what, 20 is what we need, which is all we needed. And so hopefully, everyone will be taken care of. 1 food feeds 10 crew members. And the polymer refinery has been disabled now because of a strike. Okay, it won't last very long, and truth be told, we don't even need polymers right now, so, you know, go ahead, enjoy your strike, as over here we have a tutorial on trust and stability. Our first time seeing a strike has resulted in this to pop up. If stability is low enough for a prolonged period of time, workers will go on strike, crew will stop working, and buildings will close for the duration of the strike. Okay, quickest way to ensure that the strike ends is to improve sector stability. We're working on that. Again, the food situation is being taken care of. Oh, there are 2 strikes over here. What's the other strike? Oh, the stockpile? Ah, okay, that's fine. And the infirmary is in a bit of a trouble spot as well because too many people have suffered injuries. Yikes. Lots going down all at once. Are we actually ready to jump ship from this system to the next one? What's our situation here looking like? Almost maxed out as far as iron is concerned. Alloys, again, will be a constant drain because we're constantly repairing the hull, right? So that's sort of endless. And maybe I shouldn't be using that as a barometer. Or as a timer, I should say. And maybe we make the jump. Because who knows, the next sector might actually have more room for... or more opportunities to just collect food from space, collect science, you know, move everything along that much faster. I think we've rested here for long enough. It's 352 cycles. Let's maybe get to 355 and then make our jump. That gives enough time, I think, for these guys to pick up their last few batches. There's a bit more ice to be picked up if we deem it necessary. Truth be told, I don't think so. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Focus on iron over here. All the mining is done everywhere we've found opportunities to mine, so I think it is time, yeah, to leave. Food, though, is, yes, okay. A lot better now. A lot better. But it isn't going to be until we acquire our crop farms before we continue to awaken the remaining 266 cryonic pods. That is quite a few of them, folks. That is quite a few of them. And 4 crew members did, in fact, die. Damn. We might need more infirmaries. A little late to be saying might, but that seems to be the reality of Sector 2 right now. As, hey, on the bright side, at least the strikes are over. And I think we're ready to get rid of that malice from spending too long in the system as well. Folks, let's make our move. Head on over to our system map and get ready to say goodbye to the 1,370 iron we've left behind. God, that feels like just a little bit too much, doesn't it? But it is cycle 355, and if I keep waiting for everything to be stockpiled, we'll never leave. It's time to activate the IXION engine and make our move. All power from the main grid will be diverted to the engine during the 0.5 cycle charge preceding ignition. Sectors will be powered by batteries during this time. That's fine by me. We've stockpiled more than enough battery to last much longer than that, so let's go ahead and charge the IXION engine. Yes.
In accordance with Stanford procedures, all ships must return to the Tiqqun before Volt Jump initiation.
Shouldn't take too long. These guys are all very close, I believe. Yeah. I just wonder, I'm leaving so much behind. So much iron especially is being left behind, but I guess that's the bait, right? I guess that's the bait. Back to our interior. Operating on batteries. We have enough batteries for 3.1 cycles. We should be fine. We should be just fine. And there we are. Ready for our Volt jump. Let's commence.
Full jump complete. Running preliminary diagnostics. Severe hull damage has been detected following self-similar traversal. Hypothesis: each vol jump causes irreversible damage to the Tiqqun structure. Predictive modeling suggests that 4 more vol jumps are possible before the Tiqqun breaks apart. New mission objective established. The Protagoras possesses coordinates of the habitable exoplanet Remus. We must find the Protagoras in order to reach our destination.
Alright. right, folks, here we are at a brand new system. We got to test colonization protocols and seek out the protagonists to find instructions, I guess, to reach Remus. This is very interesting looking. There's a huge like solar flare or something going down over here, which I'm sure is tied to space weather, and we have a bit of a storm going down over here as well. And as predicted, we have zero knowledge of this system outside of where we kind of popped out next to Falcon 74, where the Galileo can immediately start collecting some science to hopefully accelerate the rate at which we will start to tackle some of our problems. And we can also immediately launch some of our probes to seek out additional information out over here and hopefully find and secure some, I don't know, alien food or something. The interior is looking kind of okay, though we will need to, of course, activate our second EVA airlock to keep up with the extra hull depletion from that second vol jump. But otherwise, folks, I think we're in an alright spot. Just a couple of close calls there as far as food is concerned. We did lose a couple of lives due to the incident at the infirmary being a little too packed. But otherwise, apart from that, things have been going pretty well, I would say, with about 600 people now living on Tiqqun Station. But folks, this is where we're going to call it a session, a whole new system to explore at the beginning of the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this one though, and as always, if you did, please don't hesitate to let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. It always makes a big difference in just letting me know what people are enjoying on the channel, what I should keep doing, what I should speed up, slow down, etc., etc. And I do read through all of the comments to get an idea of what I can maybe do better, or how I can improve the viewing experience, both from an entertainment aspect, but also from the aspect of anything I might have missed in terms of, our massive tech tree or opportunities or anything like that. It's always welcome in the comments down below, folks. But with all that said, of course, a massive thanks goes out to all of the channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.